first place, but we will say that probably all three of us, we are very honored that we are one of the 3 nominated cities. And we love that, of course, because we work very hard on the city, and it's very good to be nominated. And we loved also to have the delegation in Rotterdam, and especially because we realized that we, in 2 days, delegation was only 2 days, that we had much more to explain and to show than in those 2 days. We really had to run. We were really tired after those 2 days. And the same problem is a little bit now. I have only 20 minutes, and there is too much in Rotterdam happening to do take only 20 minutes. But I hope you will be inspired tonight and tomorrow probably, and you come to the city, and we will show you around, and we like to invite you. I start. It sounds a little bit, I hope you have a little bit twice. But, I will tell you first a little bit about the facts and figures of Rotterdam, and then I will explain the policy of the city and the projects we are doing. I call it always, what are we doing? And then finally I will tell you how we are doing it. And a little sign already of how we are doing, I can't tell it enough. It's for me always important when we are working in areas with all the stakeholders in those areas as much as possible, and that we are not only looking at the physical things, but also social, culturally, and economically. So the integrated area development, and that's really where we are busy with. This is a very nice, let me see how this works. Oh, no. They said to me that, no, I can't point it out, but this is, you see the high-rise of the Wilhelminapier, the Kop van Zuid, the head of South, that's the translation, and this is a neighborhood, I will tell you later, Katendrecht, that's the neighborhood which was 7 years ago still a lot of shooting, and it was not a very good neighborhood, and now it's really transformed to a very popular neighborhood. The facts and figures. I will go very fast. This is, and let me see, here it is. This is the city, the density of the city. This is the river, and this is the center, and it goes here, you will see, to the sea. We have more than 600,000 inhabitants, and here you see, probably you know, where Rotterdam is in Europe. But we also think it's important that we have a region, and that is more than 1 million inhabitants, and we have a metropolitan area that is with the Hague, and that's more than 2 million. And we work inhabitants, and we work more and more together with the region of the Hague, because we are so near that it's more important. And like this morning, we came from the Rotterdam The Hague airport, and it was 3 years ago as still Rotterdam airport. And then we had a meeting with our colleagues there, and we said, yes, we should make it Rotterdam The Hague airport. We said, that's fine, but what do you want to give for us for money? And we just did it. Now, the port is of course very important, and you see this is the area, what I just said, from Rotterdam, and it goes all the way to the sea, and it is a third city, a third port, and a third water. And this is always a very important sheet, because you see here, this is the center of the city, and the harbor went more and more to the west, and it left port area, empty port areas, empty harbors behind, and those are the places which we can change and which we can make houses. And this is brand new land. We make Rotterdam, our country, bigger, because this is just new land. We are a very young city, a young population, really different population as the other cities in the Netherlands. You can see it here under. And we have many students, many education, two universities. I always say technical university Delft. It's not in Rotterdam, but it's so near. It's only 10 kilometers from Rotterdam. So we do a lot with the technical university, but also Erasmus University, and all the other education is. And also we have TNO very near. We have many nationalities, 176, and this is Carnival in Rotterdam. We do a lot with other nationalities. And we have a fantastic transportation system. You can read it here, the airport, the trains, the buses, but also, yeah, we are not well known for that, many bicycle paths. And we are still, the bicycles are going like this, and we are still making more and more and more. What important is for Rotterdam that we always have been kind of a laboratory. We try to invent the whole time things. If you look back, and that is also something for the future. And this is the railway, the train went over it, and it was the really first concrete in the Netherlands very long ago. And here you see this van Effe block, it's Dutch, and it has it was in 1922 the first apartment block where they had facilities together, where they had the lifted corridor, and also in a porch. And we just renovated it all because, and not we, the housing corporation, because more and more we talk to each other and say these are important examples from our history, but also for the future. Now this is not an experiment, it happened to us. The bombing of the city, but it is very important, of course, because our city was, now you can see it, everything was nearly away, and the few buildings which were left, we took them away. And why it's important, because in 1945, Van Trave, the architect of the municipality, made this plan. Now you can't see it, but of course in those times people thought it was good to live in green surrounding, in green neighborhoods. So we made, after the Second World War, we made new neighborhoods to live. And this was all intended to be for shopping and for offices. Some houses have been built in that time, but mostly shops and offices. So our inner city was in the weekends. In that time we didn't shop during the weekends and in the evenings. Rather empty and rather boring, and that was still a short time ago still the image of Rotterdam. Also, after that, we started, of course, we needed a new shopping area, so we made in 1953 the Langbaan, and it was the first street without cars. Now, probably you know this picture, that's later. The Piet Blom made the cube houses, and the other one is the pencil house, and the one is changed because all the walls are like that. And I can go on it, I'm not going to, but something is from our history. This is the water square we are rather, we got many people do that. That's for the water problem, water from there, from there, from there. And it fills, when it rains very hard, it fills, it comes full with water, and if the water goes away after a while, you have a nice place to skate and to play. Well, this is the history, and also where you know a little bit more from Rotterdam. 7 years ago, we thought we really need a policy. We did, of course, a lot, and we put an integrated policy, and we made the vision of Rotterdam, the Rotterdam urban vision. And this is special. Okay. And this is the main goal for the urban vision. And everyone could say, yeah, it's from every city, a strong economy and attractive residential housing. But in Rotterdam, this was really very important to say in this day, because we were always off walking behind the economy, and we were very busy, 5 years, 6 years, and then we said, okay, like in the 80s, oh, the housing is a big problem, and then we went houses. We never together, and also the preconditions which are necessary for that, I will come on later. So this was very important to say, it's both important, it's not one or the other. So we also said at that time, we can have a policy, but the policy, mostly we wrote many notes, and we went in the cupboard and didn't happen much with it. So we said we need a policy where all the developers and everyone can understand it. And so we said we need 10 points that if I ask a developer, what are we doing, he can tell these 10 points. So there was strong economy and the housing, and then the other ones, and these had both 3 points and then 4 preconditions. These were the strong economy things. Of course, the first one is more cities. We said our leisure, we can have much more tourists and much more things that we want to expand there, because it's also very good for the economy. But we said also we don't want only big firms. We were always thinking in Rotterdam, big is good. We also need smaller firms and medium-sized firms, so these are also important. Well, this is always a nice picture, because this is a strong economy, and this is around the station, and these are the high-rise big firms. But nowadays, in these transformation blocks, this is what ZUS, probably you have heard of that, they made they transformed it with very much less money to have all little firms and innovative firms are sitting now, and they made this bridge with crowdfunding. But the interesting thing is that nowadays these firms and the big firms, the little ones and the big, they work more and more together. We see that they are important for each other. That was an early kind of case. We have 4 clean tech, medical, food and harbor. We decided that that's important for us. And this is just the whole biggest hospital, University Hospital of Rotterdam, which is in the inner city, and I think it's very important. Then the attractive residential city. At that time, 7 years ago, we said it was the whole time that the houses still, people were building houses in the green outside the city. We have to build inside the city. Now it's rather normal, but at that time it was a really change of policy. I went with the mayor even to the Hague minister, I think we said we really want another way. And we want more high income and more families with children, because we are in a city with rather low incomes, and also people with children live outside. But we said at the same time, we don't look only at the high incomes, but also at the neighborhoods where the poor people are and the houses who are not that good. Some things to show. At the left side you see the red apple. It's in the inner city, a high-rise housing block high-rise. We have also a high-rise policy. It's very funny. It's good to know for you that red buildings, Chinese love it, so we always have already people who want to live there. This is KCP, Dutch architecture, the Rotterdam architecture office, and this is next to the station, Calypso from Elsop. Housing building, and people love to live there. New groups living there, and this is the big things. And nowadays we say don't think big only, also think small. So the left one is the do-it-yourself houses. We started as a municipality, I think 8 years ago, from old houses where we as a municipality owned them, and we didn't know what to do with it because it was much too expensive to renovate them. It was also a pity to take them away, to secure them. And we sell them to people, and they are making themselves good, and it's good for the gentrification of the neighborhoods. And this is just a little infill thing in the city. We say to people, walk through the city, and if you see a place where you like to live, come to us and we help you. This was just a street, and a woman said, I want to live there, and we made that little house. Okay, the preconditions, I have to go a little bit far. Preconditions of public space and water, accessibility, environment and sustainability, and cultural history, heritage, and architecture. And we did, because we thought that's important, we made notes, policies about this. We have the policy about the Plinson building, we have the policy about architecture, we have the policy about sustainability, the inner city on eye level, high-rise. And we say to developers and others, everything is fine, but you have to look at these things. So what did we do with these? This is the public space. We have a very best public space. So we changed the public space. We said we wanted greening, we wanted softer. We made new, we call it the Rotterdam style. We made less cars and more bicycles, more passengers. And this is the before along the river, and this is now, and this is before, and this is now. I can tell you much more about it, but that it takes too much time. Also the accessibility, very, very important. We made a new train to The Hague, to along the little villages. We have a new station, and I just said to someone, it's not just a station, it is people hub, because all the commodities of the traffic system, we come there together, and you see that it's a hub where people want to be. And we make more and more bicycle storages, and because we want people more to walk, and more to bicycle, we make park and ride, park and walk parkings at the edge of the inner city. So people park their cars and will then walk through the city. Preconditions, sustainability. Sustainability, if you build more and more and more, you get a problem with water and other problems. Sustainability is, say, it's people, planet, prosperity. So you see, we make water buffering, panels, solar panels, and more green. Cultural heritage is important for us. This is we renovate and then do more of it. And of course architecture. But also with architecture we say big is fantastic, but small is also fantastic. And this is just an old, was a house like this, very bad, and someone said, I make this of it. And that's really a pearl. It was called the Black Pearl. It's really a pearl. It's in a neighborhood where houses are which are not very good. This is really a good way to change neighborhoods. We do all these things, but we said more and more we need to make priority of the three priority areas. And we do it in a different way. We say more and more to the partners in the city, we help you, we help you, come with the ideas, we will facilitate you, but if there is not, we can also initiate things, and we do that of course a lot with all the ideas we have, but please people come also with your ideas, and that we really want quality of life. So we did that in one of these priority areas, is the inner city. We made a vision together with all the stakeholders in the inner city, but also we asked people outside of Rotterdam, but also out in Rotterdam. And we made a vision within the inner city, a city lounge, because we said it is more and more important, not only to build, but also to have a nice public space where you can be, where you can sit, where you can talk to each other. That's the city from inner city from this moment. And that's especially for Rotterdam, that's why I started with the inner city. I showed you we had an inner city where you could work and shop, but not live. But the public space was dead, and everyone walked through it and drove through it, but never stayed there. So that's what we are doing already for 7 years, and I think it changes a lot. And this is the inner city, and I'm nearly ready there. And that's why I started. We have a vision, we made a vision, this is stakeholders, and then you have in a lower scale, you have the neighborhoods, and in every neighborhood we do it together with the people. This is Hoboken, it's here, this one. And these are the people. There are 2 elder men, there are the director of the hospital, 5 museum, but also inhabitants, store owners. And together they make this vision. And now already for 4 years we are working with each other to realize the vision. And we say to each other, hey, you are not doing what you had planned to do, or let's do something together. So that's the way we do more and more. And this is Katendrecht. That's where I started this. And the opposite of Zuid. And it was really a bad area. And it was also all the people there, the developer, but also the owners of houses, the restaurants. Everyone works together to make it a nice area. And it is nowadays. People really love to be there. And this is the last sheet. This was very important. It's also very important that we are nominated now. But I started this, the image of Rotterdam already bad, but not because we are not doing good things, but because of that inner city which was bombed and which was empty. And the inner city is always, I always say, that gives the image to your city. And because we are in the city really changing, and we are making the public space different, we are making the program public space, we are making high-rise, but also small things. We do it in the whole city, but we do especially in the inner city as one of our priority areas. And this is one of the results. We see, we have now the market hall which just opened, and we see that more and more people are coming to the city, and our image is really changing, and we are very happy. Thank you very much.